Poetry in motion.
You are listening to Poetry Now with Phil Seary on Liverpool Community Radio, doing his best DJ voice. Come and have a go if you think you're bars enough. You're listening to Liverpool Community Radio. I'm Phil Seary. This is Poetry Now. The next 55 minutes or so are devoted to poetry. If, like me, your only experience of poetry was what you were taught in school, and like me, you found it more interesting to stare inanely out the window, then keep listening. I've always made rhymes up in my head, but it was only when at the tender age of 43 that I committed one to paper. It was called Nutter on the Bus, and I wrote it after a bus ride to collect my kids one Sunday morning. There was a man on the bus who obviously had mental health issues, and on a half-empty bus, he sat right next to me. I did the usual tensing up, feeling a bit awkward, out of my comfort zone. I was horrified by the reaction of the other passengers who tut-tutted and ostracised this fella with their overt, intolerant reactions. Later that day, I wrote this poem, Nutter on the Bus. There's a nutter on the bus. He sat down next to me. His nails are long and dirty. His trousers smell of wee. His Tesco bag for life is full of not much at all. He tries some conversation. On deaf ears it falls. Everyone's looking, but I just ignore. Then he starts to mumble. He's rambling now, then he starts to shout. The driver's going into one. From his cab he'll be out. But the driver just shouts, "Keep it down, will you, lad?" Yeah, that was it exactly. And then he added with a snarl, "If you don't shut up, you're off for Zachary." The bus winds on. The nutter's gone quiet. I'll get where I'm going now. No more chance of a riot. But wait. Hang on a mo. How did that come to pass? The nutter on the bus is me. I just caught my reflection in the glass. Going to a bit of music now. With Adele in her one-woman quest to reopen Bryant and May. Setting fire to the rain. Good luck with that one, love.
I let it fall, my heart, and as it fell, you rose to claim it. It was dark, and I was over, until you kissed my lips, and you saved me. My hands, they were strong, but my knees were far too weak. To
secrets out. LCR, Liverpool Community Radio. Pass it on. Tell a friend. Join the radio revolution with LCR, Liverpool Community Radio. www.l-c-r.co.uk.
The views and opinions of presenters and guests on LCR Liverpool Community Radio are not necessarily representative of Liverpool Community Radio, LCR, its directors, or their funders.
Poetry in motion.
You are listening to Poetry Now with Phil Seary on Liverpool Community Radio, doing his best DJ voice. Come and have a go if you think your bar's enough. Welcome back. That was a poem you heard before, Adele. That was inspired by injustice and a sense of there but for the grace of God go I. But a poem can be about love, feelings, or it can be a little rant about pet hates or a release, or just a bit of a laugh. I wrote this one on the way back from the Asda on Breck Road, incensed after being corralled into using a self-service till by a member of staff who'd have been better employed on a till. It was a scorching hot day, 2 bags of shopping, seething. I had to dive into a bookies for a pen and button slip. Well, I didn't dive in, that'd have been silly, I'd have broken my eggs and hurt myself. To get a pen and a button slip, before like lots of good ideas, it was forgotten. And now I carry a little pad and a pen at all times. It's called Scammed. There's an unexpected item in the bagging area. I scanned it twice, couldn't be clearer. This is supposed to save me time, go through in a minute. I've been here 9. I should have queued up, interacted, got served by a human. Instead of that, I'm stood here fuming. This technology is designed to discommode. But I did get vodka for peanuts. I just swapped the barcode.
I had to escape, the city was sticky and cruel. Maybe I should have called you first, but I was dying to get to you. I was dreaming while I drove the long straight road ahead. Yeah. Could taste your sweet kisses, your arms open wide. This fever for you was just burning me up inside. I drove all night to get to you. Is that alright? I drove all night, crept in your room, woke you from your sleep to make love to you. Is that alright? I drove all night. What in this world keeps us from falling apart? No matter where I go, I hear the beating of our one heart. I think about you when the night is cold and dark. Yeah. No one can move me the way that you do. Nothing erases this feeling between me and you. I drove all night to get to you. Is that alright?
welcome back. That was Roy Orbison, breaking at least 3 laws that I can see. Driving all night without a coffee break and a leg stretch, breaking into someone's house, making love to them and asking later if that was alright. Unfortunately, Roy doesn't divulge whether he caused any criminal damage on said break and entering, so we'll have to make that one up in our own minds. Shortly I'll have 2 renowned poets as guests from the Liverpool circuit, Ralph Killy and Tony Forshaw. Lots more to come. We're talking poetry on Poetry Now. I'm Phil Seary, you're listening to Liverpool Community Radio. Poetry has a vibrant following in the city and beyond, with open mic performance nights throughout each month. I'll give details at the end of the programme, so have a pen and pencil ready, or a pen and a piece of paper ready even. Poetry should incite a laugh, evoke thoughts, it should unite, make you cry, but never bore you. I've been looking at some of the poems of World War I, especially poignant now, given the anniversaries of the 1914-18 conflict. Wilfred Owen poem, a Shropshire lad who relocated to Birkenhead after the death of his grandfather. Wilfred was sadly killed on the very last day of the Great War, not before writing the greatest war poetry in history. This is called Anthem for Doomed Youth. What passing bells for these who die as cattle? Only the monstrous anger of the guns, only the stuttering rifles' rapid fire can patter out their hasty orisons. No mockeries now for them, no prayers nor bells, nor any voice of mourning, save the choirs, the shrill, demented choirs of wailing shells, and bugles calling them from their sad shires. What candles may be held to speed them all, not in the hands of boys but in their eyes, shall shine the holy glimmers of goodbyes. The pallor of girls' brows shall be their pall, their flowers the tenderness of patient minds, and each slow dusk a drawing down of blinds. That was written between September and October 1917, but really, really moving stuff. There's a fantastic museum in tribute to Wilfred and his story at 34 Argyle Street, Birkenhead. Go and have a look. There's his works, memorabilia and photographs. Well, poetry should be social, funny, therapeutic, empowering both for the writer and listener or reader. It can be just having a good rant or moan, getting those thoughts down in verse. Time for the tune, and then I'll be speaking to my guests.
It might seem crazy what I'm about to say. Sunshine, she's here, you can take a break. I'm a hot air balloon that could go to space. With the air, like I don't care, baby, by the way. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like a room without a roof. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like happiness is the truth. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you know what happiness is to you. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like that's what you want to do. Here come bad news talking this and that. Well, give me all you got and don't hold it back. Well, I should probably warn you I'll be just fine. No offense to you, don't waste your time. Here's why. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like a room without a roof. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like happiness is the truth. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you know what happiness is to you. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like that's what you want to do. Hey, go! Bring me down, can't none bring me down. The love is too high. Bring me down, can't none bring me down. I said, bring me down, can't none bring me down. The love is too high. Bring me down, can't none bring me down. I said, because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like a room without a roof. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like happiness is the truth. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you know what happiness you feel like a room without a roof. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like happiness is the truth. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you know what happiness is. You hey, clap along if you feel like that's what you want to do.
Viva the Radio Revolution! The revolution will not be televised. It's happening online. LCR, Liverpool Community Radio. That's www.lc-r.co.uk.
You tell me that it's evolution. Well, you know.
The views and opinions of presenters and guests on LCR Liverpool Community Radio are not necessarily representative of Liverpool Community Radio, LCR, its directors, or their funders.
Poetry in motion.
You are listening to Poetry Now with Phil Seary on Liverpool Community Radio, doing his best DJ voice. Come and have a go if you think you're bars enough. Welcome back. This is Phil Seary on Liverpool Community Radio, Poetry Now. It gives me great pleasure to welcome me two guests today, renowned poets on the Liverpool circuit, Ralph Killy and Tony Forshaw. Welcome, chaps.
Hello, Phil.
What got you boys into poetry? How about you, Ralph?
It was working in a newspaper, needed fillers, etc., etc. And I used verse in advertising as well.
Right.
And that's the way the thing developed.
Any examples of your advertising?
There was this selling merchandise on Merseyside.
Yeah.
You'd be satisfied with the classified, and it was on all the buses.
Happy days.
And I went round, and people were sort of, and the classified advertising went up, which we were all so pleased about. But that's how I came to be involved in the poetry.
And it snowballed from there.
And it's exactly.
What's your style or preference?
I went to the Liverpool College of Art, and we had to use rhyme and odes and things like that. And the teachers said that if you use free verse, it was like playing tennis with the net down.
Yeah.
So we couldn't use free verse. So we had to learn how. We had to use rhyme. So we had to use rhyme all the time, really.
As you just did then.
And this is why I use the technical term is iambics.
Right.
But we had to use iambics all the time.
Right.
And that's why I use the rhyme all the time.
So you were taught that way in the first place.
Exactly. Yeah.
See, I'd be lost on that if someone said you've got to write this in iambics.
Yeah.
It just cramped my style completely.
I know it would. It's just the way it was absolutely drilled into us
you, yeah.
as
like your tables.
as young kids, you know.
Brilliant stuff. Have you got one to read for us now, Ralph?
Yeah, I'll read this one now. I'm very keen on Liverpool, and this is a poem about a Liverpool sailor, and it's called Pete's Poem. We sailed up the river and past Perch Rock. 'Twas a cold December morning. Billy, in the wheelhouse, was stretching his arms and yawning. The cold, bright silver light of dawn lit up the silver dome, and the time on the liver clock said, "Peter, welcome home." I'd been away for 4 long years shipping oil from the Emirates. Before that, I'd been bringing clothes from China to the States. We'd sailed home the long way via Turkey, Greece and Rome. But the time on the liver clock said, "Peter, welcome home." I could see the skyline clearly now. My heart began to race. My brain kept on repeating, "Oh, how I love this place. I'm home now and I'm back to stay. I'm finished with the sea." And the time on the liver clock said, "Peter, stay with me." I disembarked, it was cold and stark, and winter wasn't far. I needed grub and a pint or two at the old King Eddie bar. So I went at pace to my favourite place, those old chairs and the polish. And when I got to the place I love, the pub had been demolished. I had to buy some clothes and things, so Lewis had sprung to mind. My ma would swear the gear from there was the best that you could find. So I took a cab to Ranelagh Street to enter the well-known store. And my heart sank. My mind went blank. Lewis's was no more. I trudged around to Woolies for a cup of tea and a scone. And I don't have to tell you that Woolies too had gone. My town's now just like other towns in Germany, Spain or Rome. Then a stranger said, "Are you all right, lad?" And I knew that I was home. Thank you.
Oh, brilliant stuff. Brilliant stuff. It paints pictures in your mind, doesn't it, that one, of the city. And we'll hear more from Ralph a little bit later on. He's got a portfolio of poems here, like a telephone directory, so we could be some time. Hiya, Tony.
Hi, Phil.
Same question to you. What got you into this poetry like?
I was actually thinking about that before. When I was a child, my mother was uneducated from the age of 11, like brought the rest of the family up, they went through the war and all that kind of stuff. But on the wall at home, she had the Kipling poem, If. And it was like the 10 Commandments to me. And it was always, every day, she used to say, "You'll be a man, my son." Fabulous when I think about it. And, it's the country's favourite poem now. I've got a copy of it here. Absolutely stunning piece of work. And if you lived your life by that rather than the 10 Commandments, it'd give you a much better world.
Yeah.
And that's how I got into it. Also, being brought up in the 60s in Liverpool, you couldn't fail, could you? The Liverpool scene, Roger McGough, etc. You really couldn't. Lennon and McCartney. But Bob Dylan was my biggest influence, really.
Yeah.
I love his style, right? I just love the madness of most of it. I think it's fantastic.
So what would you say your style was? I
don't think I've got one, mate. I would hate to have a style.
Yeah.
I like the idea. And I try and write a poem a day for whatever reason. And, whatever it's about. It doesn't really matter, as long as I come up with something. And then I'll, make it better over the period of time, So I don't think I've got a style at all, to be honest.
Yeah. You can find sometimes you can just get one line in your head that you've overheard on a bus or something like that, and it might stay there for weeks, and all of a sudden the rest of it comes to you, doesn't it? Yeah. Or it all comes out at once if you're in a particularly
it does,
ranty mood or something, or just having a laugh, basically. What are you going to read for us now, To?
Well, one of the biggest influences, as I said before, was my mother. She's got dementia now. She's in a care home and up in Southport. Cry my eyes out when I see her. Like, if I cry doing this, I wrote this last time I went to the home. And my mum was staring at the carpet. And my mother's she's a beautiful woman, a good Christian woman. She helps other people, even though with her dementia, she still helps people in the home, It's called Careless Homes. A room for 25, but only 8 that I could see. A conversation with the dead, a place of fantasy. A wonderland, a neverland, with answers left unsaid. A forever land forever, a room of talking heads. 8 chairs, 8 worlds, 8,000 reasons why. Questioning the papered ceiling, no answers in the paper sky. Offering up a pleading hand to God knows who. Talking with the invisible, as inane words seep through. The centre of an alien world, reaching into the void. With arachnoid hands, their use now null and void. Needle-thin, tendril fingers, veins thicker than their bones. Fingers twisted wire-like, holding memories unknown. Hollow eyes of grey stare into a multicoloured spent life. A monochrome view of history, of love, and war, and strife. Conversations with the children who never tread the floor. Sporadic parental memories locked behind the care home doors. Grandmothers holding teddy bears like babies once caressed. Humming personal lullabies with maternal love that God has blessed. Bone-like legs encased in sagging woolen tights. Sitting carpet staring. Somebody switched off all the lights. Now just staccato memories, a fleeting glance back into time, embracing passing phantoms, dancing in waltz time. Vanity mirrors held aloft with a stranger's reflection, talking with the imposter with unknown inflections. From perdition to paradise, in the blink of an eye, in the realm of devils, then with gods on high. Arguments with the firmament, shaking fist at the fading light, daily verbal contests as aged pugilists start to fight. Their manners from another age, a dress sense based on pride, their language comes from Shakespeare, now their human stains can't hide. Some care homes are a misnomer, where care is not addressed, on their stain-proof final thrones, sitting in pools of their own mess. Manhandled by the matrons, verbally abused by the staff, spoken to in foreign tongues, every accident's a laugh. Those aged ones in the wilderness, now the forgotten ones, once someone's daughter, once someone's son. This generation of heroes on humanity's scrap heaps. But for all may become reality as time upon us creeps. Even in their final years, as they face the end of times, they are someone's parents, maybe yours and mine. In the enigmatic final years, the labyrinth of the aged mind, as we enter the infinite unknown to face the end of times. Will we fade into obscurity, or scream until our final breath, suffer illusion or delusion, or go meekly unto death? It is said dementia's oblivion is an attractive alternative state. Put your feet in their tartan slippers. Just imagine. It may just become your fate.
Wow, it was really powerful, that. Thanks for sharing. That's quite a personal poem, but I'm sure that'll strike a chord with lots of people.
I hope so, Phil. I hope so, yeah.
It's and this is what I like about poetry. You can get a message across better than you can just talking about it.
Indeed, I believe
could I ask the pair of you, why do you think, what makes you perform poetry? And you do a lot of open mics, and I'll speak about them a bit later. Why not just leave it to the page?
Well, I was discussing this kind of thing with Ralph earlier on. I love being around creative people, you know. I've been around sculptors, so I became a sculptor. Yeah. I've been around artists, so I became a painter, you know. Yeah. And one of the influences for me was Ralph, actually. I went to Mar Edgerton's, and they had an open mic there. And he influenced me more than anybody. Seeing this fella just get up, hearing some bland stuff, and I'm not disrespectful to other people, you know, but rather quiet poetry, if you like. And then Ralph got up with his humour and his educated tongue, and I thought, wow, I want that, and that's why being beside the likes of Ralph is wonderful to me. That it, you know, empowers me to do other stuff, you know, and I love that. It is.
It is inspiring stuff. And like I said, I'll mention some of the open mics that we have throughout the city and over the water towards the end of the show. Back in a minute.
Radio on the internet, a new wave of listening. Get radioactive with LCR, Liverpool Community Radio.
The views and opinions of presenters and guests on LCR Liverpool Community Radio are not necessarily representative of Liverpool Community Radio, LCR, its directors, or their funders.
Poetry in motion.
You are listening to Poetry Now with Phil Seary on Liverpool Community Radio, doing his best DJ voice. Come and have a go if you think your bar's enough. Welcome back. I've been talking to Ralph Killy and Tony Forshaw, who regulars on the local poetry scene, and I think we'll have another poem from Ralph, if we may.
Yeah, by all means. Yeah, I'd love it. Just one sec. That's
He needs hand with this book, it's that thick.
This one took me by surprise, really. It's just a short poem, but when I wrote it, the response I got from most people, it was just fantastic, and I couldn't believe it. And it's called "Why Is It Never You?" And I still see your face in a bar, on a train, on a warm sunlit beach, or in grey winter rain. But when I get closer, it's always the same. It's not you. It's my heart. It's done it again. A part of my heart says this space to let, But the biggest part cries, how can I forget? And I know after winter there's always a June. But my heart wants to sing, but it can't learn the tune. And time is a healer. It dries up your tears. But what does time know of our wonderful years? Without you, my life must go on, so I've heard. But I'll never forget all that magic we shared. Thank you very much.
Brilliant, Ralph.
Talk it over, splashing around, transcending, condescending, diving down. Hit the surface with a sting, keep on spinning, spinning, infinite beginnings. I was craving the sun, rejected the summer, sheltered in rainfall, warm in the thunder, bathed in silence, suspended in sound. I was inhaling stars, there was nowhere to drown. And it comes around. Diving down. It feels like it's chasing tails, chasing tails, chasing tails. The sun shines underwater. It feels like it's chasing tails, chasing tails, chasing tails. It comes around. Effervescent sound. Hunting treasures, breaking walls, running circles all alone, digging deeper, finding bones, striking wisdom, building pearls, and it comes, it comes, it comes around, and it comes, it comes, it comes around. It feels like it's chasing tails, chasing tails, chasing tails. The sun shines underwater. It feels like it's chasing tails, chasing tails, chasing tails. It comes around. To curl up and self-heal, dig deep and mine for something real. I like to curl up and self-heal, dig deep and mine for something real. I like to curl up and self-heal, dig deep and mine for something real. I like to curl up and self-heal, dig deep, dig deep, dig deep. The sun shines underwater. It feels like it's chasing tails, chasing tails, chasing tails. The sun shines underwater. It feels like it's chasing tails, chasing tails, chasing tails. The sun shines underwater. It feels like it's chasing tails, chasing tails, chasing tails. The sun shines underwater. It feels like it's chasing tails, chasing tails, chasing tails. The sun shines underwater. It feels like it comes around.
The new sound of the city. LCR, Liverpool Community Radio at www.l-c-r.co.uk.
The views and opinions of presenters and guests on LCR Liverpool Community Radio are not necessarily representative of Liverpool Community Radio, LCR, its directors, or their funders.
Poetry in motion.
You are listening to Poetry Now with Phil Seary on Liverpool Community Radio, doing his best DJ voice. Come and have a go if you think your bar's enough. Welcome back to Poetry Now. My guests are still here, they haven't run away, Ralph Killy and Tony Forshaw. And we've heard a couple of cracking poems already, and there's more to come. And I think Ralph's going to finish a little bit later on with a Christmas poem, What He Wrote This Morning. What's your next one, Tom?
Mine's called Big C versus Big Mac, which I wrote. I went for a drink after coming back from Scotland. I went for a drink in Southport, and they had a charity day. I was Macmillan Cancer Trust line, and I offered to give them 20 minutes of poetry, which they said they will do next time. So I said, you know what I'll do? I'll write you a poem. I'll write you a song. You know the way you do. Like, I came up with this. My dad had cancer. He's dead now. My dad. And I was only saying before, I found some of his poetry years ago. Yeah. When I was emptying my mum's house to put it into care, and tears in my eyes again. But my dad was a great lyricist and guitarist, which really has influenced me a lot. And this is called Big C versus Big Mac.
Go ahead. Take it away. Take it away.
Okay. It was about me doing some research into cancer, which will come out in this. Big C versus Big Mac. Thought I'd pen some easy words in some semblance of verse. Thought it'd be an easy task to reflect upon this human curse. The trials of others' woes, put myself in their shoes, research the things I did not know. About the Big C, just a letter, nothing new. Not really something you can see, a curse on someone else. Wonder what it would feel like if it happened to myself. So I started some research, scanned the internet. The Big C takes so many forms, some you wouldn't even guess. As if in an instant, a fear gripped me. I was shaking, fraught. It's as if the earth stood still. I could not bear the thought. My bravery, a distant memory. Me so brave, now brave no more. I was lost, like a castaway upon some distant violent shore. I had never considered living with cancer before. I'd never considered dying of cancer before. But I came to realise the obvious. No one is immune from this, neither rich nor poor. The strong, the meek, teenagers who want to walk the walk, ones that turn the other cheek, babies with no time to learn to talk, mums, dads, grandparents, siblings, pals and schoolmates. Age has no defence, years become only dates. I at once felt so alone, in a vacuum, a dark void. I had never felt so helpless. By a threat I may not avoid. For just one moment, please close your eyes. For just one moment, can you imagine the unimaginable? You, a victim. You, attacked from within. You, the Superman. You, the sun. You, the Wonder Woman. You, the mum. Omnipotent, fearless. But now a victim, that's what you've become. A statistic. But you're not part of the 4 in 10, are you? One of the 40%. It couldn't happen to you, could it? You're different. The truth be known, none are different. The body succumbs slowly, or with the speed of light. Support needed, a shoulder, a hand, arms to hold you near in the dead of night. When sleep is just a desire, the unknown keeps your mind awake. The lack of sleep, the lack of hope, stokes this burning fire. How long will it take? Who will dry your tears? Who will embrace in those quiet hours? Who will quell your fear? Accompany you, be your listening ear? Who will be your guide, your confidant, your seer? Please put your feet in their shoes, share the journey for just a moment or two. It could be you standing there, someone close, someone to you so dear. Give a thought, give a chance, lend an ear, make a difference, change circumstance. Support Macmillan.
Wow, that was really good. Really good. Did Macmillan use that? Did they do anything with it?
No, I'm offering up to them they've asked me to print it out, and or some people around Macmillan. That's not official, so
Yeah.
don't quote me on that yet.
Yeah.
I'd love to offer it up.
Yeah, brilliant.
Thank you.
And what do you have next from Ralph? Always
Am I ready now?
Always a surprise. Go on,
Hey.
Ralph. Yeah.
This Christmas shopping, but this is what was spotted on a Christmas shopping escapade, and it's called The Story of Asda and Eve. You smiled at me down by the freezer. I picked up a packet of peas. You waved as you checked out your visa, and I went quite weak at the knees. You reached for your meatballs in gravy, and I for my chicken supreme. Your perfume was driving me crazy. It seemed like a wonderful dream. You selected some jam from Geneva, and I reached my sweets from above. We were close, and you whispered, I'm Eva. And I knew we were falling in love. And we walked side by side with our trolleys. My feelings I couldn't disguise. Your Lincolnshire pre-packed potatoes seemed to smile at your pound shop meat pies. And when we had passed through the checkout, I remember the cat food I carried. It was then that I stuck my neck out and said, would you like to get married? By the till with your fair trade tomatoes, you shone like a Hollywood flashback. So we bought matching rings in Bernardo's, and now the wedding date's set thanks to cashback.
That is a perfect illustration between two totally different poems. One has you crying with emotion, the other has you crying with laughter, and that's what's so wonderful about it. A quick tune, and we'll be back for some more.
Viva the Radio Revolution. The revolution will not be televised. It's happening online. LCR, Liverpool Community Radio. That's www.l-c-r.co.uk.
You tell me that it's evolution. Well, you know.
The views and opinions of presenters and guests on LCR Liverpool Community Radio are not necessarily representative of Liverpool Community Radio, LCR, its directors, or their funders.
Poetry in motion.
You are listening to Poetry Now with Phil Seary on Liverpool Community Radio, doing his best DJ voice. Come and have a go if you think your bar's enough. Welcome back. This is Poetry Now with Phil Seary. We're having another couple of poems from the boys, and I'll give you some details of open mics you can attend throughout the city. So, pencil and paper at the ready. Tony?
Alright, Phil, yeah. This is a supermarket one, Ralph. I don't know if it's as good as yours, but there we go. Right, I was in Aldi the other week, and got a phone call and I said, "I'm awfully sorry, Billy." I said, I can't talk to you now. I'm walking around Aldi." He said, "Aldi?" He said, "I'm a little man. I never catch me in all." Anyway, this is it. It's called Billy Little. A supporter of the little man, not from the posh Tesco clan, saves his money when he can. Yeah, he's a big austerity fan. Yeah, he's a big little man. Seen as mean, but he keeps clean, nice and lean. He lives the little dream. Yeah, he's a little man. He carries his world in his carrier bag, little on the side so he can brag. Won't use Tesco even if she nags. In fact, he's proud, he doesn't blag, that he's a born and bred little man. He buys little undies, ties and socks, kept in his little wardrobe in his little box. In his little bedroom he eats his little chocks as he poses in his little cricket box. It's obvious. He's a little man. In his little mirror, he likes to preen, thinks that he looks a little keen. The truth is, he's just a little mean, living the cut-price little dream. Yeah, he's a little man. Little's the place that he'll always shop until a day he finally drops and they cart him off in his little pine box. But nobody will be that shocked if they bury him in the car park at the local little shop. So when you're parking or driving round, remember the little man underground, under the little tarmac sleeping sound, in his cute cut-price little shroud. Yeah, he's a forever dead good little man.
Hey, well done. Very good, lad. Very good indeed.
And we have a festive one from Ralph.
This is my Christmas cracker. It's called a Christmas cracker. It's now Christmas Day in our city, and the cash machine catches its breath. The gulls show elation at this transformation, and the liver bird thinks he's gone deaf. And the bells of St. Nick's send a message, calling the faithful to prayer. But they're all in the pub or at home eating grub, but the stalwarts, as always, are there. And the shopkeepers rest in their homes now. Their profits could fill a beer vat. Their wives sit there smiling, looking beguiling, and say, "Joe, I've spent much more than that." And the security guards are relaxing, but this makes them feel quite uptight. So they go to the pub for some Christmas grub and hope there's trouble or even a fight. And the shops are all empty and silent. Security cameras swoon. With no shoppers to cover, they spy on each other. And then they get bored, so they spy on the moon. Our policemen, of course, love their Christmas. And Santa they saw went on nights. And a sergeant named Ruth shouted, "Who's on that roof?" And she booked him for parking and having no lights. But for writers, our Christmas is magic. The kids with their toys and folks with their wine. And you can see at your leisure sights you will treasure. And you pray one and all has a wonderful time. Thank you.
Thanks very much. Thanks very much, Ralph and Tony, for giving up your time and talent today. Thanks for coming in, and I'll see you soon.
You're welcome. Thanks, Phil.
Poetry is far from boring, as you've heard, and there's plenty going round in the city. Here are some dates and venues as promised, all very friendly, supportive and inspiring. The first Thursday of each month is the Brink Speakers on Parr Street. The second Monday of every month is a lovely word at the Everyman. The third Monday of every month is the Live Bards in the room upstairs in the Crown. And the last Monday of each month is the Wirral Bards in the Magazine Pub. They all start at 8 o'clock of an evening. And there's also a new night coming up called the Nearly Dead Poet Society, which will be an open mic of music, comedy and poetry. More details to follow, so watch this space for that one. Thanks very much for listening, and I'll see you in the new year.